I think it's interesting that one of the first declarations that people make when we start to engage in a conversation about their own legacy is they start to say things like, I want to find more purpose in my life, or I want to find more meaning. And a lot of times they use the terms synonymously. They say, I need more purpose and meaning, but they never really stop to think about what does that really mean? And I think it's important that we do. I think it's really important that we focus on what we're really saying, because when we say it, it creates a lot of energy inside of us and pushes us into a direction that's really, really important. Purpose is one of those things that I really run into a lot of folks that say something like, I just want to find my purpose. I just want to find my purpose. And I always laugh because I'm taken back to The Jerk, the movie with Steve Martin, where he was walking around and he finally said, I found my purpose, I found my purpose. And we all remember what that was, but really, can you really find your purpose? And more importantly, is there really a question of, this purpose idea? Is there a purpose of life? And I think there is a purpose of life, and I think it's very general. And I think that purpose is we're all here to learn and grow and develop through our own experiences. So purpose is going to be something very individual for each one of us. We're going to go through life at different phases. I love what it says in Ecclesiastes, that to everything there is a time and a season and a purpose under heaven. So it means there's many different purposes that we're going to run into. There's not just one purpose. And I think when we think about purpose and meaning, that's where we need to start. Because too often we're confused by this idea that there's only one purpose and we've got to spend our life finding it. But really, there are lots of different purposes. For example, when I was 21 years old, I was looking for a wife. That was my purpose. I was thinking about that. And now that I'm almost 50 and married 27 years, I think my wife would be a little upset if my purpose was still to find a wife. I've already found one, so I've moved on from that purpose. The next purpose was have children. I've now had 7. I don't think she wants us to have more children, my wife and I don't think we want to go to that. And so we've got different purposes, and now the purpose is to raise them. And at different phases, at different stages, and at different ages of our life, we have different purposes. And I think that's important. I think it's important. But we've got to figure out what is purpose. So purpose is nothing more than a goal. It's nothing more than thinking about, what do I want to do? And it's important that we understand that purpose is to-do driven. It's about our to-do list every day, but we want to make sure that to-do is in reach. The problem with most of what we do is it's driven by to-do. We haven't really thought about, well, what will it all mean if I do this? What will the benefits be for me if I do this? What will the problems be if I don't do this? Where's the meaning in this? And so when we think about purpose without thinking about meaning, or if we think they're the same thing, we run into a real big problem, and that's that we don't know where to begin. And so meaning is something different. Meaning is a look forward that really talks more about who we want to be than it does about what we want it to do. And if we establish who we want to be first, then to do becomes a real easy thing. Because then I see the gap. Who do I want to be versus who I am? And the gap becomes, well, now I know what I need to do to get there. So it's really frightening for us. I think this is why we start at purpose, or we think about what we want to do first. Because it's really frightening for us to see who we want to be and to realize that we're not that person. And we know we need to launch into something bigger and deeper, and we know that we're going to have to make some changes in our lives, and we're going to have to grow. And that's where purpose comes back into play. And so when we think about to do and to be, or purpose and meaning, meaning really drives who we are. Meaning really gives us the fulfillment that we're looking for. And so the very best thing we can do is we can start with thinking about what is meaningful to us. And I could talk for hours on what we normally do. We normally think about what's meaningful to someone else. Well, we're going to do it this way because our mother told us to do it this way, or because our friends think it's cool, or because MTV says it's great. We don't really think about who am I and what's meaningful to me. And that's where the real conversation starts, is who do I want to be and where do I want to go from here? And then what do I need to do? So I ask you to think about this. It's a big, deep question. Who do you want to be? And now when you think about that, what are the actions that you need to take to become that person? Don't start big. It won't work. Start with the smallest things. Just ask yourself one simple question. What's the smallest action that I can take today that will create the biggest impact in my journey to becoming who I want to be?